5:30, briefed and departed so as to be in the area at first light, even though the weather was not at its best. Upon arrival, we discovered the second bit of bad news. The survivor had come down right on the Ho Chi Minh Trail. The road network in that area formed a rough triangle around a small karst or mountain. The survivor was on that mountain, inside the road triangle, which was about a mile to a mile and a half on each side, and it was of course heavily defended. Jet fighters were brought in, but there were simply too many guns for us to be able to knock them all out. Then we had an idea. If we massed our firepower and attacked just one spot on the road, we might be able to blow a hole big enough I could slip through. We lined everything up and attacked the middle of one side of the road triangle. Here you see the PJ and crew chief preparing for our dash across the road. I'm coming in as fast as I can, right on the heels of the fighters, counting on them to be able to open a hole big enough for me to get through. Both of them keep a steady watch as we approach the road defenses, alert for any sign of the enemy. Tension mounts as we straight toward the road, and there we are. The crew chief opens fire as we cross the road. It worked. We got past the road and headed for the survivor. After raising him on voice and spotting any smoke, I punched off the drops and entered the hover. The hoist, swinging wildly in the rotor blast, is nearly to the ground. If you look close on the top left of the screen, you could have seen the survivor. Now in the center of the screen, you see him racing towards the forest penetrator, getting on, and here he is coming up. We have the survivor on board, but a new problem has presented itself. Hoping to get clear of the area, I began dodging and weaving, attempting to avoid gunfire as we headed back for our hole in the road defenses. You can imagine my consternation when I discovered the enemy had moved in mobile anti-aircraft guns. The result is we're now trapped inside the triangle. I started zigzagging around the small mountain, attempting to avoid the guns. The jets began attacking the road again, but they were having trouble clearing a new path for us. Finally, they managed to blast a hole large enough for me to get through, and I made it out safely. On the way home, we discovered the weather had closed in. We were in the clouds all the way back. When I judged we were over the base, I began a letdown through the clouds, looking for the runway. Finally, we spotted it. And here we are on the ground. You can see the survivor in the doorway waiting to get off. A crowd has waited to greet him. Here he's getting his stuff together, he's getting off, and oops, you better watch out for drooping rotor blades. Be ashamed to be rescued and then killed by the very helicopter that rescued you. Here's the survivor being congratulated. There was always a huge celebration when a rescued survivor returned. If you look quickly at the next scene, you'll see me walk off, trailed by my crew chief.